It's good to be back.
We were off last week due to quarter testing, so let's get this started.
This week on CWN, our marching band has advanced to area.
And volleyball has been on a winning streak. I'm Maddie.
And I'm Elias, and today is Saturday, October 21st, 2023. You are watching Calallen News Weekly Review.
So much has happened in the last 2 weeks. Let's start with our amazing band. They have been very busy. After crowned grand champions at GP, they competed at home for a chance to advance. Let's send it over to Mr. Valpertz to tell us how they did.
Hey cats, I'm Maddie and I'm here with Mr. Valpertz. And Mr. Valpertz, I heard y'all had a competition on Saturday. How did it go?
Yeah, on Saturday we hosted the UIL Region Marching Contest, and it was like the qualifier, the first part of the state qualifier. The band had their incredible performance, their best performance of the year, and they got straight ones from all three judges, and that means superior ratings, and that is the 23rd year in a row that we got superior ratings at the Region Marching Contest.
Wow, that's so cool. Can you tell me what is yet to come?
Okay, so since we got superior ratings, we'll be moving on to the area marching contest, and we're going to be hosting that here this week. So we've got 36 bands from across the state of Texas coming to our giant area competition, and then after the prelims with 36 bands, they will knock it down to the top 12 bands, right? And then from that, the people that make the top 12 area finals will, some of them will be moving on to, we call it the Big Dance in San Antonio.
That's great. Thank you so much. Good luck and congratulations to band.
Mrs. Cash has been able to do several labs in the past week. Starting with her biology class, she had a lab on adaptation. Let's see how important our thumbs are.
Good morning, Calallen TV. I'm here with Caden. So I heard y'all are doing an experiment. Can you tell me more about that?
So it's mainly consists of the teacher taping your hand and you doing a task with just your 4 fingers and without your thumb. So once you do 3 tasks with that, then you're going to do it with your thumb, and then you're going to compare the times and then write what you learned about it.
Hey cats, I'm here with Miss Cash. So Miss Cash, I heard y'all were doing an adaptation lab. Can you tell me more about that?
Yes, sure. So we are doing an adaptation versus acclimation. So adaptation you're born with. Acclimation is something that you learn after you're born. So we are trying to figure out how it would be if we didn't have our opposable thumbs.
Great. Now that's all back to the studio.
You know it wouldn't be a Saturday show without us talking about our science department.
Ever since the new science wing was built, the ability to host just about every kind of lab was made possible.
Ms. Brandon had a lab in her environmental class about evolution in ecology. Let's see what they learned.
Hello, my name is Michael. I'm with Mrs. Brandon. So tell us, what project are you doing in your environmental systems class?
Well, right now we're studying evolution and ecology, and we've been talking about natural selection out in the out in the ecosphere. And right now they're doing a lab where they're taking colored cereal, and we have a piece of fabric over there with a pattern on it and a color, and they have to determine which color is going to be the largest population after all is said and done. And it's working out pretty well.
That's very interesting. Now back to the studio.
Mrs. Burkhart's class recently had their annual physics car project. Let's see how they did and who had the best car.
Good morning, Wildcats. I'm here, Ms. Burkhart. So y'all had a project last week. Tell me about that.
Yes, our quarter project in physics was to design a rubber band car that would have a displacement of a minimum of 3 meters. And then they were also competing for the greatest displacement.
What would you say, which one went the farthest?
Well, we have this car in pre-AP was Sebastian Dennis and Aldrina. And theirs went the fastest, approximately maybe greater than 12 meters. And then Everett Vernon in PAC is actually went over 19 meters and only stopped because it hit the wall. So they were really great projects.
Which one was your favorite design?
So I had this one. This was Cameron and Fabian's. And so theirs was kind of, I just liked, they kind of put the effort into the design of the project.
Thank you for the interview. And with that, back to the studio.
Ms. John's class had an AP Chem lab collecting gas while learning about gas laws. Will they see the elements? Let's find out.
Hey Wildcats, I'm here with Ms. Johns. Ms. Johns, I heard you have a lab going on today. Can you tell me more about that?
Sure. In my AP classes today, we are collecting gas over water. We learned gas laws in pre-AP Chem, and so we're going deeper because of it in AP. And so one of the labs they're doing is they are doing a reaction between magnesium and hydrochloric acid, producing hydrogen gas, which is then pushing water out of that long skinny tube called an eudiometer. And from there they can find the, and we have a barometer in there, so we have the atmospheric pressure. They're going to be able to compare those two, and then also they have to do a calculation to account for the water vapor, because water vapor is also in there because water evaporates. And at the end, it's just good practice for them. We did this practice on the board on Thursday, and now they get to actually do the lab themselves, collect the data, and then see that it's actually a real thing. So I like a lab anytime it can, I guess, show the math that we're doing.
Mr. Smith's class had a lab demonstrating the second law of motion. Let's see how they find the relationships between the first and second law.
Good morning, Wildcats. I'm Lauren. Today I'm here with Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith, I heard you're doing a lab. Could you tell me more about that?
Yes, my AP Physics 1 students are going to do a lab where they're going to demonstrate Newton's second law of motion. We've been talking about the first and second law of motion, and for those who don't remember, their 8th grade or 5th grade science or whatever it was, first law of motion, an object tends to stay at rest, or an object in motion stays in motion unless acted on by an external force. So you can summarize that one as forces cause accelerations, all right? And then the second law is that acceleration is directly proportional to the force, so the harder you hit something, the greater the acceleration, and indirectly to the mass. So it's really hard to push an elephant, but it's easy to push a dog or whatever. All right, so that's what they're trying to figure out. They're going to figure out what's called a modified Atwood device. So they've got a cart, they've got weights, they're going to let the weights pull the cart along a track. They have motion sensors, and the thing with this lab is they know the relationships, but they have to figure out all the experiments to do to show those relationships. So that's what we're doing. And right now, they're just playing with motion sensors.
That sounds really complicated, but really fun.
Ms. Martinez had a lab over advantages and disadvantages of certain types of bird beaks in her class. Let's watch the students learn about the environmental pressures.
Good morning, Wildcats. I'm here with Mrs. Martinez. So, Mrs. Martinez, I heard y'all did a bird beak lab. Can y'all tell me more about that?
Yes, so we actually were looking at the different adaptations, the different bird beaks that would perform better with our seeds, which we're using beans in this case. And we do different scenarios. We do like a drought, we do a heavy rain to put environmental pressures on that. And then the students have to graph that and see which ones actually were able to survive and reproduce better than the other beaks.
We spoke to Mrs. Sheik for more information about Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. Here is Riley, who spoke to Mrs. Sheik.
Wildcats here, Ms. Sheik. I heard y'all are doing a project for Day of the Dead. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, so next week we're going to start our big unit on Dia de los Muertos, which is the Day of the Dead. The students will be learning vocabulary associated with the Day of the Dead and all of the things that go along with it. We're going to be making individual altars for somebody that they would like to honor. They're going to learn about all the items that go on an altar, what they represent, how Day of the Dead is celebrated in the Hispanic culture, in Spanish-speaking countries, and we will be making one big altar in the front, by the front office. And so if anybody would like to bring a picture of a loved one that they would like to remember, you're welcome to bring it and share it with us. But the kids are all excited about starting the project for Day of the Dead.
Our Lifetime and Wellness program was teaching students how to prepare meals using certain ingredients. Here is Riley taking a look into the kitchen.
Wildcats here, Miss Luna. So, Miss Luna, you already have the end of the 9 weeks projects. Tell me about that.
Sure. For Lifetime Wellness and Nutrition, we have a bunch of projects going on, and each of the groups are designated like a certain nutrients. And up here, as you guys can see, we got like proteins and metabolism. We have carbs, digestive system, everything that goes into that section. And then at the end, after they present each group, they'll get to go into the kitchen and make some food.
And with that, back to the studio.
Mrs. Compton's engineering class was working on compound machines that had to create a simple task. Iana Elise went down there to investigate.
Hey Cats, I'm Mia and I'm here with Miss Compton. Miss Compton, I heard that you have an engineering project going on. Can you tell me more about that?
Yes, I can. So anyway, our engineering science students are doing a compound machine, and they're going to put together a sequence of simple machines, and that has to complete a task. And then they're going to figure out the mechanical advantage that the machine will give, and it has to have a mechanical advantage greater than 1.
That's interesting. What are the tasks they have to complete?
Well, some of the tasks that they have to complete are rolling a dice, popping a balloon, and actually, Mia, you're in the class. So tell me, what task did your group get?
I got picking up paper clips.
Picking up paper clips. And tomorrow you guys are going to present your machines, and so I'm looking forward to seeing how well it works.
Interact Club recently did their Adopt a Kid program where our students interacted with up to 70 children doing various activities. Mrs. Dietrich did a great job putting all of this together.
Hi, my name is Elias Timms, and I'm here with Mariah Rios. So, Mariah, last Saturday, y'all had an adoption day at the Botanical Gardens. Can you tell me how that went?
It went very well. We went out to the Botanical Gardens around 7 to 8 in the morning, and we kind of just hung out with over 70 kids.
So can you tell me what your role was that day, like what you did with the kids and how y'all took care of them and what activities y'all did?
Absolutely. So some of us in the Interact team, we either got stationed at an actual station or we got assigned a kid. I got to hang out with the kid all day, and we just played games outside like football, hula hoops. We made some slime, some bracelets. We had a variety of stations out there.
That's very sweet. That's nice. I'm sure the kids had fun. That's all from here. Back to the studio.
Now, let's send it to Callie with Wildcat Media.
Thank you, anchors. Welcome back to Wildcat Media. Calallen FFA recently made a TikTok account, so make sure to go check out their latest video and go support them by clicking that follow button. It is at Calallen FFA on TikTok. Now that's all from me, and back to the anchors.
Thank you, Callie. Now let's send it to Michaela with the rundown on sports.
Thank you, Elias, and good morning, Corpus Christi. It's been 2 weeks since we last updated on Calallen sports, so let's get that rolling. Our football team had played La Feria, where they rolled to a 63-0 victory. Carlos Rosales scored 5 touchdowns in that game and was up for Athlete of the Week. The following week, we played Alice, where the Cats suffered a disappointing loss to the Coyotes, losing 21-7. The Coyotes did a good job in play execution under the first-year coach, J.R. Castañero. It's been homecoming week here at Calallen. We had bows and sweethearts, a king and queen, a Hoko dance, and all grade levels decorated their respective halls. And of course, the homecoming football game with our longtime rivals with Tuloso Midway, which we will have results for next week. Our Lady Cat volleyball team has been rolling through district play and remained undefeated going into Friday's contest with Tuloso Midway. They defeated Bishop, Alice, and Laredo Harmony all in 3 sets. Let's check out that recap.
Hey, what's up? I'm here with Layla, varsity volleyball player. So y'all played Bishop last night. Can you tell me how that went?
We swept them in 3 sets, and I think our offense and defense did really good, and they stuck with us a lot, and we had long rallies, but we came out and won.
I'm here with Lauren Dillon, varsity volleyball player. So, Lauren, y'all had a game on Friday against Alice. How did that go?
It went pretty well. I think we all played pretty good. We didn't have that many mistakes, and we beat them in 3 sets.
Morning, Wildcats. I'm here, Coach Perez. Y'all had a game against Laredo. Tell me about that.
Yes, we did. We traveled to Laredo Harmony School of Excellence yesterday evening. We had a JV game. They swept them in 2 sets, and then varsity also swept them in 3 sets.
Who y'all playing next?
We have a big match tomorrow. No, not tomorrow, on Friday. My days are confused. We are hosting TM here. That is going to be for the outright district championship. So currently right now, all 3 teams are undefeated in district play. After tomorrow, all 3 teams should clinch the #1 spot and be undefeated in district. We will finish with our last home match on Tuesday against Kingsville.
Good luck to you guys. And with that, back to the studio.
The Lady Cats played Tuloso Midway last night, and we'll have those results for you next week. Cross Country held their district meet, and we spoke to Coach Spencer about how that meet went.
Hey Cats, I'm Maddie, and I'm here with Coach Spencer. And Coach, I heard Cross Country had a meet yesterday. How did it go?
Yeah, so we had our district meet yesterday. On the girls' side, Katie Garza ran an amazing race, 2 miles and 13 minutes flat, qualified 10th, so she was able to get to regionals. On the JV side, Michaela Wyatt won the race. She was our JV individual champion. Lena Unterbrink placing 5th, and Elsa Lopez at 8th. On the boys' side, we had 3 top 10 qualifiers. I believe Gabriel Quintero was 4th, Tanner Spears 6th, and Jude Harms 10th. And so as a team, they placed 3rd, and so our whole boys cross-country team will be heading to regionals on the 24th.
Wow, that's so amazing. Thank you, and now back to the studio.
We also spoke to Katie Garza, who qualified to go to the cross-country regional meet. Here is Elsa and Katie talking a little bit more about Katie's past.
Hey Cats, me Elsa, and I'm here with Katie. So Katie, how long have you been running cross country?
I've been running cross country for like 7 years by now. It's a lot of work. When my coach back in like 5th grade, she's like, "Oh, you're really fast at running. You're joining." I'm like, Oh, okay. She didn't give me a choice, so I got forced into it.
That's cool. So I heard you guys had your district meet this Monday. Can you tell me how you did there?
I did good. I placed 10th. I got my best time, my PR. It's 13 flat, which I was so happy about. And I'm really excited to go to regionals.
That's great. Can you tell me how you're preparing for regionals?
I've been trying to actually try in my longer runs running 7 minutes, which I did today because it's our first practice back. And then just putting more effort in, I guess, in practice than no effort, but also keeping a steady balance so I don't overexert myself before region.
That's cool. That's all for me. Back to the studio.
Tennis has been busy with the playoffs. Emma spoke with me about first round match against Hondo. It was a great team victory as we advanced to round 2.
Hey Cats, I'm Emma and I'm here with Michaela. So Michaela, I heard you had your first round of playoffs for tennis yesterday. Can you tell me more about that, please?
Yeah, so we played against Hondo yesterday, and we did really well as a team. We ended up winning 10-5. Individually, I think we played to the best of our abilities. We won, and I'm really proud of us for all the hard work that we're putting in this season.
Well, that's really great. Congratulations, and back to the studio.
With that being said, round 2 was a tough loss, losing to Zapata in an extremely close match. RJ spoke with head coach, Coach Radford, and assistant coach, Coach Martinez, about that loss.
I'm here with Coach Martinez and Coach Radford, varsity tennis coaches. So, y'all just had a game. When was it? Yesterday. So, how did y'all do?
We took an extremely tough loss yesterday in our second round of team tennis playoffs. We lost 9-10 to Zapata High School. And, the kids gave it their all, but in the end, Zapata, ended up taking it. And extremely tough loss, but, there's still work to be done. We're proud of the kids, and we move on from here. We don't linger on this loss. We just find what we lacked on and find a way to improve that.
All right, that's good. So, Coach Radford, what's next?
So we just finished the fall season of team tennis, and so in the spring we're going to play individual tennis. So we'll kind of start all over, if you will, just a different format where all the kids don't play as a team. They play individually and try to advance either in boys singles or girls singles or mixed doubles or one of the events and try to advance that way. And we look real good in that respect. We've got some kids that could really go the distance, we know we can probably get to regionals. State is going to be a hurdle, but I think we can even do that as well. The way we played this past fall, the kids improved so much, and I think there's potential to get pretty far in the individual season. So we're looking forward to that.
All right, that's good to hear. Now that's all from us. Now back to the studio.
Swimming had a class meet. We caught up with a few students and Coach Lawrence to tell us all about it.
Hey Wildcats, today I'm here with Kaylee, and can you tell me a little bit about how your class meet went?
I think it went really well. It's a very competitive meet, and each of our girls took home a lot of firsts in their classes. So.
Hi, I'm Ken. I'm here with Coach Lance. How do you think swim is doing this season?
Well, I've been very pleased with everything that we've done so far. We've had our third meet now, and our second big meet, or the first big meet we had, the girls won first place, the boys got third place. The last meet we had, it was a little bit different kind of meet where it was called the class meet, where the swimmers competed against people in their own grade. So you can't really win the meet, but all of our swimmers did very well. They all decreased their times in at least one event, and we did compete against some of the teams in our district, and we competed very well. So I'm looking forward to seeing how well they're going to do in the future. But right now, I'm very pleased with everything we've done.
Thank you, Coach. Back to the studio.
And that's the latest on Calallen Sports. Back to you, Elias.
Thank you, Michaela. Now here's Candace with today's weather forecast. How's it looking outside, Candace?
Thank you, anchors, and good morning, Wildcats. Today's weather is brought to you by Paytick and Robinson Families. Happy Saturday, everyone. Hope everyone's had a great start to their Saturday morning. I'm sure a bunch of y'all are super excited that we received a cool front this past week. Although looking into this weekend and also early on into next week, we're looking at temperatures rising up into the lower 90s. Although with those upper 90-degree temperatures, we're looking at temperatures staying a little bit cooler in the morning times and also afternoon times. Especially right now, we're looking at a current cooler temperature of 70 degrees. We're looking at some current sunshine, temperatures 0% chance of rain, and the winds blowing from the calmly for the time being. Looking further on into the rest of the day, temperature is going to rise up to 84 degrees at 12 p.m., get as high as 91 at 4, and then drop down to 80 degrees later on tonight. Percent chance of rain also stay consistent at 0% all day today. We're also looking at consistent sunshine throughout the entire day, and we're looking at some low winds blowing from the northeast at 3 miles per hour at 12, pick up to 5 miles per hour from the north at 4, and then pick up to 8 miles per hour from the northwest at 8 o'clock tonight. Looking further on into Sunday and early on into next week, we are looking at some sunshine, a little bit of cloud coverage tomorrow. We're looking at temperatures rising up into 87 degrees, 10% chance of rain, and the winds blowing from the northwest at 5 to 15 miles per hour. And then looking further on into early on into next week, we're also looking at some of that rain, hitting us Monday and Tuesday. So make sure on the way out the door to bring those umbrellas and also those jackets, because we are looking those heavy rains on early on to next week. We're also looking at temperatures staying in the mid 80 degrees at 84 on Monday and then 85 on Tuesday. We're also looking at winds staying consistent at 5 to 50 miles per hour on Monday and then just picking up to 10 to 20 miles per hour on Tuesday. Also, with their countdown, we're getting closer to Halloween time. There's exactly 10 days to Halloween, so make sure you have everything ready for Halloween day, and I hope you have all your costumes ready. It's all from weather. Have a great one, and back to the anchors.
Thank you, Candace.
Yes, of course.
And that's all your announcements for today, but now it's time for your joke of the day. So guys, where does a person with only one leg work?
I don't know, Elias. Where?
IHOP.
For all you social people out there, make sure you're following us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram at CalallenTV for all the latest updates. Also, subscribe to us here on YouTube to catch all of our latest videos. And as always, stay classy, Calallen.